we are. Welcome to SlashU. Welcome to SlashU Murder Cabin Behind the Scenes.
Hey!
I'm Andy. He's Nick.
I'm Nick.
And we are in the midst of shooting this movie.
We are in the north woods of Wisconsin, sitting on the front porch of the Murder Cabin.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be talking to various cast and crew members.
You are?
Yes.
Do you run this by me?
We're keeping it spoiler free. Don't worry. And you're doing directorial duties.
I wanted to talk more about other stuff.
Like what? Conjoined twins again?
No! No! I wanted to do...
Want to hit some politics? No. We don't know what's going on in the world. It could be a world war right now.
Yes,
There's no cell phone service.
Just so our 7 listeners know, there is no service out here. Like, I am... It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone in town a couple times just to...
I got to drive 5 miles out to that gate that blocks
I have
the
to
road
go. I have to
one
go.
bar.
I have to go all the way to Leona.
It's
I get
nuts.
one bar, but then I lose signal. Like
Sure.
if you're trying to make a phone call, it will drop. But
Oh yeah,
just so people know, if you look on a calendar, if you look on a map,
yeah,
and look up Leona, Wisconsin, that's where we are.
yeah.
Laona. We're near the UP, what they call the UP of Michigan. Michigan's
Upper Peninsula.
upper penis.
Yeah.
So you're talking to people. You know what would be a good name? Murder Cabin BTS.
Yeah, that's the episode title. This is episode 139 of SlashU, by the way.
39, dude.
39, dude.
Nice.
I know. Last week was the Slasher Bracket Championship. We announced that we're going to be watching the last horror film for next week. Well, that's actually next week. We're still watching the last horror film, and we'll record that and put it out a week from now. But this comes out on Memorial Day. Today is Memorial Day.
So what do you want to do with me?
Talk to me about this movie. You've talked about Murder Cabin quite a bit, but just give us the fresh story, I guess, of how this thing was born from your twisted mind.
I was up north in the North Woods at a small cabin. I did a writer's retreat with one of my dogs where I just went up there. That's when I was drinking, so I bought a couple 12 packs. I was up there for 2 nights on a lake.
Typewriter, computer, 2 couple frozen pizzas. Yeah.
That's it.
Really?
Yep.
And you
No
had
TV, no radio, no communication.
No phone, no lights, no motor car?
No.
Not a single luxury?
Not a single
like
luxury.
Robinson Crusoe.
Yes.
As primitive as can be.
I made underwear out of the leaves that surround the forest of this cabin. No, but so I was just up there because I wanted to start writing a film that I've written called 6 Pictures. And I drove off, me and Leah, my dog at the time, my baby girl, we drove off to call Jody. And I started joking around about the cabin. She's like, yeah, you're going to die up there because, the movies we watch. And I went, yeah, I'm staying in a murder cabin. Blah, 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 blah.
Ding.
So, ding.
And the little, not for you, it'd be like a little fireplace kicked on, or a little fun. Instead of a light bulb, it should be like a little... I picture a hamster that was sleeping next to the wheel, and he woke up, and he jumped on the wheel, and he started running. That's the animated representation of Nick.
No, mine would be, instead of the hamster, it'd be a lighter that goes up because it's at like a Sugar Ray concert.
There you go. So that's the idea. We've talked about it before. The original full-length screenplay is 3 stories set in 3 different time
50s, 90s, and present day.
But we've worked on, for the purposes of this, it's a short, it's the 50s story.
Yeah, and we've drawn it out a little bit. Probably going to be a 30 to 40-minute short film.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed at the quality of production from people I'm sure you're going to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you get to interview yourself. That would be weird, but
I'll have one of them interview me. That's how
Wait, that's what I would do, wouldn't it? I'm a shitty host.
No, man, you're busy. You're busy.
But the quality, especially from you, man. I mean, and again, brother from another mother, but I was like, I knew he'd do good, but I didn't think he would do this good. And no disrespect, but I'm amazed. Just people of the U, our 2 listeners in Ireland and our 1 listener in Michigan, maybe 3 in Michigan. Andy, you're just going to be amazed eventually when you get to see this.
See this on the screen.
You got dark, man, and you're not that, because it was funny. We'd say cut, and then Andy would just bump into something funny, laugh, But then we go, okay, everyone prepared. Then your evil scowl.
Yeah. Thanks.
God.
So,
Everybody did well. Chloe,
Yeah,
Sid.
you're right. We've all brought
Ender.
it. It's been a lot of fun. I know we're recording the beginning of the show at the end of the weekend. So through the magic of editing, this is the start of the episode. We're going to be talking to a lot of the cast and crew members.
We have one more scene to film before we take off.
Yep, and then we're kind of done up here. And we have some stuff we got to shoot end of June, which is dialogue in the car. And then the movie, the filming is wrapped, and the edit will start after that, right?
Yes, and I'm going to give our sound designer, who's also our editor, I don't know if you've talked, or you're going to talk to him, but Eric.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be primarily editing.
Yes. Sometimes it's good to step away, with Brian, who I'm sure you'll talk to as well.
Yeah. Brian's the director of photography. And
co-director, because he's got such a good eye on shots. So
he's using the cameras. He's behind the camera.
Yeah, we have to step away, and we have to give it to someone
Eric.
else because.
But you still probably want to
we'll be involved. We'll be involved in the process, but
yeah,
we need someone that's a pro at it. And,
for sure,
Eric is a pro.
But if he gets a scene that he says, "I'm done," how does this look? You'll be able to say "Oh man, that's great."
But
how about for this one line of dialogue, you use this shot?
That's what we were doing today. We step off and record lines that we didn't get.
Okay.
And it's been a great process too. People have come up with ideas. People have continuity. It's really great when you have a team. This is my first time filming a movie of course, of this magnitude, and also with a crew like this. And gosh, dang it, if everyone just didn't contribute.
Really on it. Hey, we need this from you. And they would just absolutely. Or there's no, I'm busy, I'll do it in 5 minutes.
Let's put it this way. The guy scoring the film was our caterer.
Yeah. I would love to talk to him.
We'll get him. We can get him. He lives a block away from me.
Oh, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the food has been great.
Cornbread.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about the
cornbread? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But he's going to be doing the score. So.
Yes, so everybody's in the mix. God, have you talked about
We've talked about the bugs. There's infinite mosquitoes and ticks. Does somebody need us? No? Okay. Infinite mosquitoes and ticks.
Where are you? Oh, Jody's standing out the window of the murder code.
Cute. No, it's been great. Have you, I think a lot of people have learned things. Have you learned anything? If you someday were to do something like this again, would you be able to be I learned this when we did Murder Cabin. Here's what we're going to do. And just that much faster and more efficient? Or no?
Lenient on schedule.
Yeah.
But I also have to say, too, when you have a limited time at a certain place on a budget that wasn't big, obviously. But thanks to Kickstarter and people that donated, we were able to push a little further. But, you have to move and you have to...
You gotta hustle.
You have to, especially when you're working with other creatives, you have to be more... Communication's an easy process.
Yeah.
In the mind of someone with no... God, I'm not good with words. Communication is tough, and you got to make sure you stay on top of it. So, it's a great question, and people say when I've heard that when people say that's a great question, it's because they don't know the answer.
I'm just wondering, if we were to be able to shoot the story that's in the 90s, would that... I'm not saying this didn't go smoothly.
FX.
This went smoothly, but I'm saying would it be able to go more smoothly because of the things you're learning on this shoot?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It would be... do I get a budget?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if I got a budget,
next time around, you could be
I would have
we didn't do this last time, but we learned that we should have. Let's do it this time.
Instead of having people do multiple things, which is great, of course.
We don't have a second unit.
Yeah, I'd much rather have... Yes, yeah. I would much rather have people dedicated just to one thing.
It'd be
great that everyone was able to come up, but I know that it could also cause stress. It's different. I wanted to say this, too. It's when you go out camping or go on a trip with a group of 15 people, it's great because... you're able to go to the Coco Cabana or you're able to go explore the mainland or whatever. You're able to go do shit. Mm-hmm. Or this is where you're coming up with people that you don't know and you're staying at a place that's off the grid and you're working 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah, well, everybody's still pretty happy despite the fact we've been living and sleeping all around and working all day all around each other. Everybody's still in pretty good spirits.
It was that is because we started talking what if we did have a budget, we could oh, it's raining. Well, we'll just shoot tomorrow. Okay, we'll go back to your hotel rooms or go.
Right.
You know, just we'll do it tomorrow. But it's like we shot like without giving anything away. Like some points we were like, fuck it, we had to go. We had to shoot like.
Yeah.
But through the magic of Hollywood, we'll be able to, I think, really bring this out. Some of the shots I've seen have just been the effects. Who you'll probably talk to, Britt, our effects girl, which is a great story within itself. Everything's just gone well.
That's
Expectations were met. Time was a little crazy. Time's never can be your fucking nemesis sometimes, but for the most part, expectations were highly met.
I agree. I like it.
So thank you, Andy, and thank you if you're listening to this and you're part of the movie. Thank you. If you donated, thank you.
Yes.
And if you think my voice is sexy, thank you.
We'll talk more, obviously, about what happens with this. You know, where it goes, what we're doing with it when it's.
I feel like we're so more professional right now.
I know, right?
We're not like, hey, it's Nick and Andy.
I know.
Let's talk about boobs.
That's because, like, I feel like we've grown up a little bit this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do some pretty dark shit, and so I just don't feel like joking around right now.
Oh, I mean, but it was dark.
Yeah.
But that's the point. Like, I mean, I want to.
I feel emotionally drained, and so I don't feel like cracking a lot of jokes.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some time. Maybe that's good that you don't have to worry about watching the movie. Like we just get this ready. It'll be a little late, but
no, I'll be putting this together. I'll be putting this out as soon as it's ready. As soon as I get some signal to be able to get it on the internet, I'll do that.
And when we record when we go back to
a regular format next,
you don't have to wear the leather vest.
Thank you. I won't. So that's the last horror film I think was from 1980. That's our next movie.
God, I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. We were just so wrapped up in this. So.
You'll just put a dub in.
Yeah.
The last horror movie.
The last horror film. You guys know the drill. Instagram /U_podcast. /U podcast at gmail.com.
Are you going to give a summary at the end, or are you just going to end it with?
Who
are you going to end it with?
I don't know.
We don't have to talk about it now, but it's got to be someone special.
Yeah. It'll be me at the end, I think.
Ender. Did you get to, if you interview, or if you I don't know if you have, but Ender will be a good maybe one to end it with.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks. I think.
Thank you, friend, co-host.
Well, we're gonna
lover.
Next up. Everybody's gonna hear my one-on-ones with the various cast and crew. So.
See you in the cabin.
Yeah. All right. We're going to be talking to some of the cast and crew of the Murder Cabin movie here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. This is Andy, and I'm going to be talking to various people throughout the next few minutes. First up, one of our crew members, Satchel Simpson. He's a great guy, really brought the energy, and here he is.
He's an interesting guy.
How'd you get roped into this?
Known Nick since, say, 10 or 11.
Oh, just like your sister.
Yeah. Long family friend, almost an uncle to us.
Yeah.
But I just heard from Chloe one day that they were doing some movie, she was acting in it, and that was like a couple weeks into my film school. I'm going to film school, and I was like, can I come? I texted Nick, and he's like, oh yeah, sure, I could use any of the help I could get. So I was like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Get some experience, anything I can do.
So you're at UWM.
Yeah.
And this is what blew my mind about this shoot, because for me it's my bonehead buddy making his movie, and he suckered a bunch of people into helping him. But like, this is something that you can like put on a resume.
Yeah.
Especially because this is going to get edited and submitted to festivals and hopefully picked up, and it's just like a legit piece of cinematography.
Yeah.
So that must be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
How long have you? I guess where are you at in school? First year, second, third?
I'm just in my first year right now.
Okay.
I just finished my first semester of film school because I transferred from doing law at UWM to doing film school now. So yeah, just one semester
Probably
in.
A good move. The world does not need more lawyers.
yeah.
But it needs more, art. Like, have you ever worked on anything like this before?
I mean, I've had school projects, but it's like maybe at most 3-4 people just from classmates doing stuff. But no, nothing on this scale, which really surprised me. I didn't know what to expect coming in, but it's been cool, very cool.
As we talk about this, we're nearing the end of the weekend. We just have like one more crucial plot scene to get. We might do some B-roll stuff in the car, and then we're pretty much done. But what's have you had what do they got you doing, and How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I came up here early on Thursday for a pre-production. That was just getting everything set up, especially the cabin. And then after that, I did some slating work, and then after that, I'm going to get audio credit. I did some audio for a couple of the scenes.
Sweet.
And then, yeah, just helped where I could.
So what was that like? Was that first time doing that stuff? Are you familiar with it in concept, and now I'm doing it in practice? How's that?
Yeah, pretty familiar. It was like a different rig than I'm used to. I'm usually using Zoom, but like it was very easy. I
just the
figured it
slating
out.
too, very important.
Oh yeah.
Correct scene number, sub scene letter, take number, and to me, I was like, yeah, that's because obviously that keeps your editor on track later. He knows which. Yeah. And then Eric explained the importance of this.
Yeah,
which many people don't know. Go ahead and explain why do we smack that thing and say, action, take 2, and click that big clicker.
Yeah.
What does that say? What does that do?
Yes, first show it to the cameras, and because the main purpose of it is syncing audio to video, and that's where that clap comes in, because it's really easy to sync audio when you get a spike in the audio track,
right?
And because you'll also have camera audio, so you can just link the clips together, line up the 2 audio tracks, and then the disconnected audio from the microphone is synced with the camera, and it makes everything so much easier.
That's another thing I actually was talking with Eric about off camera a while back, was just the evolution of all of this over time.
Yeah.
Somewhere years ago, when they went from silent films to audio to sound films, someone figured out we need a way to sync this up. Let's use something that makes a loud or slapping noise.
Yeah.
So that you can see it on the track or whatever you're using.
Yeah.
At the time, it was probably reel to reel. And that's just, to me, that kind of thing is really cool, because I love thinking about that stuff. Like somewhere someone figured this out.
Yeah.
And then it's the norm now. We take it for granted. That's just what you do. We don't question a lot of it anymore. So that's awesome that you're getting to do that. And then, of course, they probably have you just being like a general gopher.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been good.
That's great.
Yeah.
If we were ever to do something like this again, is there anything that you've learned that you'd take away, that we could do better or differently? Because none of us are pros.
Oh yeah, it's first time for like
a lot
most
of people.
Yeah. So biggest thing. It just goes for anything you do. Organization. You just have everything mapped out for each day. Which we still did a decent job at. One more scene left, and then we're done.
That's
basically.
True. We really thought there might be a lot to cram in this morning,
Yeah.
and there really isn't, which is good.
Yeah, real good.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for taking a minute to talk to me.
Yeah.
Do you have any fun social media stuff you want to plug, or any upcoming things you're working on that sound like fun?
Right now I just got a YouTube channel where I post some of my stuff. It's just at Satchel Simpson.
Okay.
Find me, and just post my either independent or school related work on there.
Oh, that's nice. Well, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
We're wrapping up here at SlashU and at Murder Cabin Behind the Scenes. All right, next up we're going to be talking to Chloe Simpson, Satchel's sister. She played Shelly in this movie, and we're going to get her impressions of how things are going and the fun she's had here filming this weekend in the Murder Cabin. Here's Chloe. I think so. So how did you get tied up in this mess?
Nick and Jody are like my aunts and uncle.
Close to your family?
Yeah, because I've known them since I was 4. And I do acting at school.
Okay.
That's like I go to an art school for acting.
How old are you?
16.
She's 16, so high school.
Yeah.
It's an art school.
It's art school.
For acting in Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, I specifically go for acting, but it's an all-over art school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's other arts, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, that's rad.
Yeah.
And Nick just said, "Hey, will you be in my movie?"
Yeah, he asked, and I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this something like you put like on a resume someday?
Yeah, I can. I already have like a resume going because that's an assignment for our class, so I can put that on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there? What are some other fun things you've done?
Well, last year I was the lead in a play about zombies.
Nice.
Yeah, I killed a lot of people in that, so yeah.
So up until now, is it mostly like theater style stuff?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've never really done like film acting. This is my first like film. Well, I mean, we do acting for the camera in class.
You do?
Yeah, but it's not like this. It's just more of like on my teacher's phone, and she records us doing scenes and stuff like that. My acting for the scene, because we did scenes. That was our final grade, really. My scene was really good, and I really enjoyed it. And that play made me cry.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this a first where we cut, reset, different angles, different shot?
Not like this is the first professional one, because we do it in class. You know what I mean? Like we had.
We're gonna put professional in quotes, but yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said professional, because it's still, but I mean, compared to what I do in school, but for our final scenes, we had to storyboard the whole thing, make up angles, and do all of that. Now, part of our grade was getting different angles for different shots and stuff like that. Yeah. And so
they've done all that work for us here.
Yeah.
Brian and Nick have figured all that out.
Yeah.
Because I know he had a storyboard. You know, we do. I make fun of professional, but it is. Yeah. It's more professional than. I guess somebody in their basement with a camcorder. No, that's great. So talk to me about, you are playing Shelly, the daughter. Mm-hmm. What is your impression of that character?
She's kind of a little bitch, but she's smart, and I hate her. I hate her. I don't.
You don't like being her, or you don't like her?
But yeah, I don't like her. Because everything that I do with my characters, in plays and stuff like that, I always try to internalize them and figure out how to relate to the character in a sense. And I do relate to her. It's just how she's written that I'm why the fuck are you saying that? Why are you doing all that?
So we'll set it up. This is obviously this takes place in the 50s.
Yeah.
And the story's about a mom who's a little bit psychologically abused and kind of put down by the dad. And Shelly is a rebellious kind of. Yeah. She represents that next generation where women were getting a little more powerful and standing up for themselves a little more. Would you say that's fair?
It's fair. I just think she's just stupid in the way she presents herself. Because if I think about it from my perspective and still thinking about being mindful of the time period and stuff like that, I would have done so many different things. I just think she's really angry.
Okay.
She's just really angry. So
that's probably true.
So I think she's just angry of having to deal with this all the time and stuff like that. So
would you be friends with Shelly in real life? No.
She sounds like a pit.
Well, you're doing a good job. Are you having fun at least? Is it a stretch for you? Is it easy for you in some ways?
It's easy for me in some ways because it's I've had to do drama before, and it's not anything like that, you know what I mean? I'm just tired.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're up here in the wilderness.
Yeah.
A little bit better than camping, but not
True.
quite.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty rustic.
It's a step up of camping.
Yeah. I mean, you're indoors, but there's still tons of bugs. We were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, bugs. I hate bugs.
There's a bajillion mosquitoes, ticks. But I think you're powering through fine, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. It's I just genuinely how I've explained this is that I have felt so monotone this whole weekend because I don't feel like I'm actually doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm acting. Maybe in my next scene it might be a little bit more.
I don't know. From what I've seen, you've had some powerful shit.
Yeah, but it just doesn't feel like anything.
No?
I'm just oh, okay, I'll do that. And then they're can you do another take? And I go, yeah, okay, sure.
Well, maybe, so, I don't know. Maybe it's just easy for you to step in and out of it.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Okay. I sound like a bitch when I say this.
Oh, don't.
But in my class, some people are find acting so difficult, and I'm how? It's the easiest thing in the world. You just put on a mask and then you yell if they want you to yell, or you have a facial expression.
Yeah, I think it's probably different for different people. Some people need to stop, relax, get into a character. Others, it's like a switch. You just turn it on and off. All right, I'm this guy. Now I'm this person. Now I'm that lady.
I think Also, I had character in the zombie play. Her name was Jen. Shout out Mr. Rich writing Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Because my theater, the production teacher, he wrote this play.
Okay.
And it was performed like 10 years ago. So on the anniversary, we redid it for a Halloween show. But my character, she was this really like docile character when it first happened. But then she had a teacher that was like her mom, basically, because her mom died.
Mm-hmm.
That she saw as her mom and stuff like that. So, that teacher becomes a zombie and has to die.
Nice.
And so she freaks out, and then she has this whole switch where she doesn't really care about anyone anymore. She's not very docile, and she's angry all the time. So I think that it's easier because I played a character already similar to that, where I'm like, oh.
So you're drawing on that, you'd say?
Yeah, because I don't know, it's like, it's not like I like have to go and set myself for a character.
Mm-hmm.
I just can do it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we had to do a setting yourself exercise where we had to go into our dressing room and then come out and deliver a line, and then people would say whether or not like it was like delivered in that character. And I was just sitting back there just like, what am I doing right now? I was just laughing. And then I came out and screamed my line, and then they were like,
nice.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, thanks for sitting with us.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we're just doing a little behind-the-scenes murder cabin shoot.
You want to interview me?
Yeah, you and I will talk later. Do you have time now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you have time now? Yeah.
Oh, no, finish with Chloe.
Okay. Our fearless leader.
Yes,
there really isn't
we
much
all say in unison.
There really isn't much else to say.
No.
Do you have any like social media channels you want people to follow you on or anything?
Chloe,
yeah.
you didn't tell me I changed my name, did you?
Oh, he actually changed his name to Tobacco.
Okay.
Yes, Tobacco, we all say in unison.
Tobacco. It's up to you.
Follow me at Chloe Simpson on Instagram. It's Chloe_Simpson, and the I in Simpson is a 1.
Woo!
That's about it. I don't want anyone to know any of my other social medias.
Okay. Well, we could put that in the show notes for sure.
Yeah, guys, follow me. Get me so famous. Get me like famous actress level famous. You know, all the listeners of SlashU, including the Ireland ones.
Yes, our Irish listeners.
Please, I'm going to Ireland next year. I will see you. So please.
Okay. Well, thanks for hamming it up with me.
Yes, of course.
Next, we flipped the script a little bit, and Chloe interviewed me about my part playing Robert in this epic masterpiece known as Murder Cabin. So she got to test out her interviewing chops and asked me about the part of Robert, the father, in the Murder Cabin movie. So let's take a listen to that.
We'll talk about your character. Let's talk about Robert.
Robert?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Chloe, for interviewing me.
Yes, of course, Andy. I'm so excited. I love interviewing people. So, Robert.
Yeah.
He's not a very good person.
No, Robert's the patriarch of this twisted family.
Yeah.
He's the father. He's written as on the surface, happy-go-lucky guy. Everything's fine. Sort of the family man, the dad to 2 children, loving husband. But he has a dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, you're not at all like that. In real life, no.
No, I'm not.
Is there any parts of his character that are difficult for you to kind of envision and act out?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. There's parts where he has to get pretty dark and somewhat creepy.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't like doing it just because it's not me. It doesn't feel. You talk about stepping into a character that I have to do it because the part that I like the least is that there's people like this in the world,
right?
And that's what bothers me the most. And there's situations like this in the world, and that's what bothers me the most.
Yeah.
So to now act it and play pretend with it feels wrong, but it's an art. You know, this whole thing is like a work of supposed to be like a work of art. So you have to suspend that distaste, I guess, and just do the job, do the thing.
Without, I don't know, spoilers, I would say, are there any scenes in particular that you have found trouble finding yourself to like come into that character in?
Oh yeah, well definitely the one we shot the first night we were here, where Robert has a little freak out and chucks a beer bottle in anger. Very similar to how an abusive husband might do.
Yeah.
That was tricky, but I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those blood.
it was fun, but it was creepy, and I was tired.
Yeah.
Like afterwards, I don't know if you heard me say it. I said, I feel like I just took the SATs.
Yes.
Is that still a thing? The SATs and ACTs?
Well, I just took my ACTs like a month ago.
Okay, so it's still like when I took that test, I took the ACT. Yeah, and years ago, obviously, because I'm much older than you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was exhausting,
Yeah.
and it's not like exhausting in the way like you just got out of the gym.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing.
Yeah.
And so when we got done doing that, I was just drained and like,
Yeah.
woof. And then our fearless leader, Tobacco, Nicotine, Tobacco, whatever you want to call him, wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like we're wiped.
Yeah,
you know?
I was so glad yesterday that I just got I got from 2 to I didn't have to do anything all day. So from 2 I just did whatever. I read half of my book. It was like a good thing.
Your character had a sort of a scene where she's alone yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, you were kind of done.
Then I did basically the same thing she did, and I just wandered around.
Wandered around? No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Is there anything specific you think about or channel to get into character?
No.
No.
Not that nothing comes to mind. Nothing specific. I just try to, what have I been doing? I guess I just try to get calm, get quiet, push out anything funny.
Yeah.
Anything funny I want to say or happy that I want to think about, it's out. Try to go blank slate. He doesn't have any emotion in those moments, and I try to blink as little as possible and just get really dark about it. Like at one point where I had to tell you kids, okay kids, it's time to go to bed, and you paused, and then I went, now. I guess I try to imagine what my dad would have done when he was angry, but my dad was not like Robert. He actually loved us. So but yeah, nothing, there's no specific, but yeah, I just try to not be a goofy, happy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as they yell cut, I make a joke or something, because you got to balance it out or I'm going to go insane.
Yeah. Do you have any I would say my only way to describe it is a head canon or anything about Robert that you think specifically because to make the character your own, you make up stuff about the character. Is there anything you make up about him to?
Yeah, I actually talked about this with Nick.
Oh.
When writing the character, since this story takes place in maybe the mid 50s, mid late 50s, we supposed, yeah, that's the word, that Robert is a veteran of World War II. And he was probably treated like a grunt, crappy soldier in the military. So he was pooped on by his superiors. And now he's maybe in a dead end, like we said, used car salesman job. Yeah. He's not a blue collar worker, but he's not a high powered executive or anything. He sits at a desk and he tries to sell cars. And he probably has a manager who craps on him there too. Yeah. So at home, that's where he has control.
He's the leader.
He's the leader. Yeah. He's the alpha. And at home, if you don't listen to what he's saying, there's going to be trouble.
Right.
That's the headcanon for Robert.
Okay. Well,
thanks.
My headcanon
for
Buddy, if he lived, he'd be drafted into Vietnam. Because if you think about the time period, 10 years, he'll be, 20? Something
like that.
Yeah, he'd be drafted, going off to Nam.
For sure.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Buddy yet, but I will.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to think about. I doubt that Ender, who plays Buddy, is going to know what Vietnam is, but we could ask.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions that come to my mind about Robert.
Thank you.
So, did you have a favorite scene to film that was more fun? Because you say that some of them were quite draining. So, was there a scene that was more fun for you?
Yeah, we're not quite done yet, obviously. Mm-hmm. But of what we have left, I think. Well, no, of what we've done so far, it was probably just a little quick baseball scene with Buddy, where my wife brings me a beer, and she's like, "Your beer, Your Majesty," and I get to be a little playful, and Buddy kind of mouths off to her, and I get to be like, "Ha ha, this is this kid. Yeah, boys will be boys." That was fun because it was a little more lighthearted while also being a dick.
The subtext of
that he's he was still holding her under his thumb while being a little he's
Yeah.
almost poking fun at her
Mhm.
because he's letting Buddy treat her like shit too.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably my favorite of
Yeah.
what we've done so far because it didn't take a lot.
Yeah.
Because I can be a real asshole
Yeah.
like that when I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, but like when you were screaming at me for TikTok dances.
Well, that was helping me get
Yeah, I
in
know,
character
but
to
like,
throw the beer bottle.
but that was the one thing that you just dead set on was TikTok. Andrew thought you were being super serious.
Oh, he
Like,
was?
he was like, TikTok dances. Why do you do TikTok dances? Why does he like TikTok? And I was like, oh, he's just joking. He's just joshing you.
Yeah. Well, there is, if I wanted to get really angry, I would just probably get political, which tends to do that for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I could start ranting about the federal government and how wasteful they are with our hard-earned tax money, and I get really mad pretty fast.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
yeah, that's all the questions I have for you, Andy.
Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
I appreciate it. This is good
Yeah,
material for SlashU.
Leaving Tobacco some extra time not to do something extra.
Yeah, then Nick doesn't have to. They heard me and Nick banter all the time. They don't need
Right,
to
so
do
it's good. I'm actually the co-host now.
Yeah.
Welcome
Nick,
to
you're
Slash-
fired.
yeah.
Chloe's the co-host.
Welcome to SlashU. Today we're going to be talking about the 1970s movie When a Stranger Calls, because that's the only horror movie I can watch.
We haven't done that one yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should. If you do, please invite
We'll have
me.
you guest.
No, please, I would love to.
Okay.
Actually, I love that movie. That's because I hate horror movies. I'm
Sure.
a very squeamish person. But that movie was it was so eerie to the sense of that it wasn't gross scary that I was like, oh, I can watch this.
All right. Well, I will keep that in mind if we ever do that one.
There's a really
we
good
got to get
scene
Chloe over on the third mic.
Yeah, there's a really good scene where this guy's just naked in the shower, just crying. It's really
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
All right. More to come here behind the scenes. Thank you. Next, I spoke with Eric Hahn. You might remember him from the episode we did when we covered the movie Maniac. Eric's a professor, a real film school professor. He's also the sound engineer, and he's going to be editing the movie. So we talked to him about his work on Murder Cabin.
I think I'm interviewing Ender.
Well, the wonderful baby blue-eyed Eric Hahn, Professor Eric, who's been on the podcast before when we did Maniac, and lent his expertise to that episode. Thank you.
Hey, it was
You
a lot
brought
of fun.
some class to SlashU for once. Some literal and figurative class. Because
Hey,
you're a professor.
happy to make you guys uncomfortable.
You're my sound engineer for this movie.
Yeah,
And editor.
yeah,
Later.
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
How's that been? How'd you get roped into this?
Honestly, I was skating with Nick.
Yeah.
And we were, I don't know, I heard him mention something about film, and I was like, hey, I'm into film, I teach film, I like making films, I'm an editor and whatever, and he mentioned that he's a screenwriter. One thing led to another. He told me about Murder Cabin, this project that he's had going for a while, that he'd entered into some screenwriting competitions. He gave me his little book, read through it. I was like, hey, you should make this, or at least make part of it, Let's get it going. And so I feel that I gave him that push that he needed to get
Kicked him.
going. Yeah,
That's
yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a few people have done that.
A lot of people have done that.
But
Yeah.
Nick needs a lot of kicks.
Many kicks, it seems. Maybe he took a good fall when we were skating. Maybe that shook something. Yeah, I don't know. But, and of course, since I pushed him, I volunteered to help out in whatever capacity he needed.
Yeah.
Sound, which is my least favorite thing to do on set. Which
Really?
Oh yeah. It's just brutal.
I can't tell, man.
I don't love it. I mean, it's been actually on this project. It's been pretty fun. It's been pretty low key in terms of setup and everything.
That's good.
We're keeping it pretty low profile in terms of the sound gear that we need and that we're using, and everything's been pretty good. But normally it's just I don't know. It just always feels so tedious.
Well, you lent your time and talent to the movie, but you also lent another pretty crucial part to this movie.
Oh yes,
Your son.
I did.
Your
Indeed.
own flesh and blood.
Yeah,
in this movie.
that's been more stressful than sound. I think that the juggling both has been
because that's your other credit.
that's my other credit.
Assistant to
Personal
Ender.
assistant to Ender. Yeah, which is just that's just life in general for me. So.
I suppose. So yeah, you just see it as an extension of your everyday.
Yeah,
He's been great.
he's been great. Yeah, he has.
I
been
hope
great.
he's having fun for the most part.
He's having fun. He's always, I think, so back and forth. Where it's when he's here, he's having fun.
Yeah.
He's staring at us
He's
right now. You
creeping
can
on
hear
us
everything
right
I'm saying. Moody's here and we're shooting, he's around, everybody's having fun. Then he gets overwhelmed and like
Sure.
we'll be like, I can't do it. And then 5 minutes later he's like, I can't wait to film my kill scene or film my scene.
Yeah, it's fine.
Later, you know, so he's just like a lot of back and forth. So yeah, between sound and then sort of managing him, that's his emotions, that's been most work. Are we shooting?
We gonna get going? Do you need him?
Hey!
What? What do you need?
And this director, this tyrant.
I tell you what, fearless leader.
Oh,
What are they
man.
called? Oh, dear leader.
Yeah.
Like he's North Korea.
How many times he's thrown things at me on set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick's like, you think about an abusive like basketball coach.
Yeah.
He's
Man.
worse. Like screaming at the team.
It's so bad.
He's such a slave driver.
I've cried myself to sleep every night.
Have you?
So, yeah, oh yeah.
No, it's amazing. I think that everyone who's contributed over this the course of this weekend, pretty much volunteering,
Yeah.
and
And that's it, though. That's what's so fun about it. And
Yeah.
I think that's like something super special about making horror movies.
Mhm.
There's so much more passion, it seems to me, when it comes to like making a low or no budget horror movie than like any other genre. Because it's just I think the challenge, and this is like Britt's doing a great job with gore effects. It's always like such a kind of experimental process, and it's so fun to see how it all turns out. And nobody knows how everything's going to go when you go into it. And there's like room for play, even though the subject matter is like kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're shooting, you know, like a melodrama or something, it's
Yeah.
like everybody's got to stay in character. You got to stay like sort of serious. With horror, you can. I don't know. It's fucked up and it's fun, and that's what makes it so awesome. And I think that's what brings so many filmmakers
I agree.
together.
Everyone here wants to be here.
Yeah.
Or they would just bug off.
Yeah, totally.
Not getting paid, but there's a lot of us here who stand nothing to gain professionally, but we also have. I know, which I was surprised. Some of the crew are like in school for this.
Yeah,
and Cyd like is an actress. And
Yeah.
is going to go on her reel. You know,
Yeah.
as a thing she's done.
Well, that's what's so cool is everyone's super talented.
Yeah.
Everyone's bringing a lot to the table, but it's also like
Some people are like, "Well, I'm
working
going to put
for
this
just
on my
the-
resume."
Yeah.
and I
Totally.
never even thought about that. I'm like, this is just my bonehead buddy's movie that
Nah,
he
man.
conned
This
a bunch
is-
of people into making.
I keep telling Ender, you get that IMDb credit. you
Right.
know?
No, it's
Yeah.
been fun. So after all is said and done, though, you're going to be key in cutting it together.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Be chopping it up. So in like this approach, it's like I was talking to Nick and other folks about it, and it's like it's a lot. It actually reminds me. I do a lot of like documentary work, not
Sure.
necessarily because that's a like genre like motive filmmaking that I love. It's just that's where a lot of my work happens to come from.
Yeah.
And in some ways, the shooting process has felt more almost like documentary in approach, which is really cool. Like it makes post like a challenge, but also a lot of fun because so much of it is built in post, right? Like there are some movies you come into where there's like a really detailed mapped out storyboard and you're sticking every single shot. Like every setup is like, oh, we've got this shot. Now we got this shot. And it's like super like
By the book.
mapped out. And
Yeah.
then in post, it's like, okay, you're almost just, it's like paint by numbers in some ways.
Oh,
right.
sure.
Like you just kind of
You
match
have
it to the
the canvas,
storyboard,
now
and then you
fill it in.
make adjustments and you tweak and whatever, and you
Yeah.
have to fine tune it all. But still, it's like you've got that kind of very
Yeah.
easy map to kind of
Yeah.
work by. This is much more like, and again, kind of the horror genre. It just lends itself to this, but like it's like you've got the idea going in, but there's a lot of experimentation with camera, moving cameras around quick, trying to keep things moving and flowing really rapidly, just to save time, and also just to kind of go with the vibe in the moment. So in post, it's like going to be a lot of like what works here, what works here. We actually have this really cool angle that we didn't even think
Yeah.
of, and we can drop
Like,
that
well,
in.
this line of dialogue fits way better
Yeah.
with this angle and this footage.
Totally. And it's a lot. Yeah,
and it hits me
a
hard.
lot of cheating.
Like it punches me in the gut harder when we do this angle
Yep.
versus this one.
Totally.
Still effective, but not good. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. Sounds like it'd be a time.
So it could be a lot of time for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll work through. I mean, and Brian, you know, the director and P has been like roughing stuff together and just to make sure that like, what we're doing is kind of coming together. So at least that's sort of daily, you know, like he's been going through that a bit, so that's cool. But
awesome.
I'm confident that like we've got more than what we need to make it good.
We have a little left to do.
Yeah.
And a little bit left to shoot in June.
Yep.
And wrapped on film, on footage.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just post. So, no, that's cool. Thanks for sitting down. Yeah. Do you have or want to mention anything you're working on or anything upcoming?
Not. I
Do
mean,
you like to pump yourself up?
I don't have any, socials. I got nothing.
That's good.
Making a move to a new school, be going to Butler University.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Don't know anything about it, but Marquette, right?
I'm a Marquette.
Oh yeah, so you're is that part of the
man.
same division or the
East.
same? Yeah, is that Big East? Yeah, okay.
That's why I said I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, I only know Butler because I'm from Connecticut, so I knew of UConn and UConn. There was 1 year where I think Butler and UConn were in some big game together.
Sure.
So that's my familiarity with Butler, but
sports ball.
Yeah, exactly. You go where the jobs are.
Right. Well, I'm excited for you, man. That's great.
Thanks.
Sounds fun. It's been a hoot getting to know you. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you and your son.
Yeah.
He's got his moments. Other times I'm like, get out of my face. Just kidding. He's been great to play off of, and there's a few times where he had to coax it out of him.
Yeah, you've been doing great at that. So
well,
I want to say that because
I tried to be his friend because I play his father. So I'm like, I want him to be comfortable talking to me as much as he talks to you.
Yeah, you've been super helpful getting him comfortable in acting, but also so helpful. It's just amazing and just making him feel better hanging out. I'm like jumping around too, doing
renting a
sound
kid
stuff,
for the weekend.
So, yeah, hey,
I can pretend to be his dad, and because I get to give him back, I don't have to worry about his well-being after this.
There you go.
That's huge. You got to do that. So, and I feel like he's fitting in. I've been watching him walking around in the background here.
He's definitely
having a blast.
You also don't need to worry about helping him kick his beer habit after this.
Oh yeah, you gotta get him off the route.
Yeah, it's really
he's so root there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a few other people speaking to, and next I talked with Britt Eisen. She's our makeup and hair and effects girl on this movie, having a great time, doing a great job. And we're gonna hear about an interesting story about how she got tied up with this and how she's looking at here on the Murder Cabin set. So let's take a listen to Britt. All right, everybody. We're here behind the scenes of Murder Cabin.
Where we have just written.
We're
Squeeze it in the middle.
Trying to avoid spoilers for the movie. We're not done shooting everything we need to shoot. Take a swig of my beer. And we've been talking to some of the cast and crew and all that stuff, but I'm here with Britt, who's been doing our makeup and effects. Yay! Doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
How did you get roped into this fun project?
This project specifically, I saw the ad for the fundraiser at X-Ray Arcade, and I just thought, I'll come and check it out, see what it's about. I came and it was pretty much over at that time, so then I was highly regretting my decision. But then someone directed me to Nick, who was there, and we were just chatting. I put a donation in, and then I asked him if he needed any help with the film, specifically with makeup.
Right.
And Nick was like, yeah, we just lost our guy for it, so this is perfect. So I showed him my Instagram, and...
Oh.
Yeah, it was done right away. Like, I was kind of weird, if you don't mind me jumping in.
I don't.
She was, came up and told me, I went, yes, right away. Like, I didn't even...
Oh, that's great.
Oh, really? I feel like I just said, yeah. She showed me Insta. I was like, yeah, it was rad. I'm not going to take away, like, the Insta's rad, but it was just crazy, like, how... And then she got roped in, not knowing any one of us here, not knowing me, like, yeah, come up 3 hours north to a cabin with us.
Right.
500 acres isolated.
So...
My name's Nick.
This is a safe space. Do you regret that decision?
For the first, no, I'm kidding. Not at all. I'm very glad that I'm part of this project.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It has.
Great work, too. I'm just going to go and jump in. Great work.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You've been doing a great job.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah. You're gentle but firm. The way makeup people should be.
The Chloe dog food coming out of her neck was really
Dog food, yes.
Nice.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. Ground beef is what we called it.
That's nasty. So.
Glad I'm a vegetarian.
What'd
she say?
Was it nachos? Tacos.
That was our lovely mother.
What is
From the background.
How long have you been doing stuff like this?
So I went to college for acting.
Okay.
I graduated in 2015, and during that time span, I had just a basic stage makeup class, and special effects was part of that, and it really piqued my interest. So from about 2015 on, I've just been on and off practicing on myself around Halloween on my friends, but I've never done a production of this.
Oh, this magnitude.
Magnitude, correct. So this is new, but
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So we get to be like your first. You
guys are my guinea pigs.
Real.
You've already died.
Legit film. I don't know what order this is gonna be in. This might be first.
Well,
I don't know.
I can just say it then. Like,
I was trying to avoid a lot of spoilers because I don't know how much you want to.
no, that's good.
About
I was
this.
just good. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say Andy's kill was red.
That's true. Yeah, the kill. Let's just say the kills that you've done so far have been
red.
rad.
Okay, then let's not talk about it more.
Yeah, so that's great.
Let's talk about those conjoined twins.
No, we can't get off track.
Okay, sorry.
We've been getting everybody about 5 minutes or so, and we're only at 3:48. So.
I'll shut up.
So I was just about to ask, are there any other projects? But yeah, that's you just answered that question. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? So what kind of? You're very talented from what we've seen.
Thank
obviously. The wounds look really real. Would everyone kind of agree with that?
100%.
So how?
Without overmuch.
What goes into that? Like, how do you? Is it practice, or do you just have a vision in your head already? Like, how do you?
Yeah, I've practiced quite a bit on myself, and then I've done some research as well. Something super nerdy that I've done is a few years ago I got a black eye from a dog biting me right above. I just got in her face. It was totally my fault. But then I was like, oh, okay, now I can see how a black eye heals. So I took a picture of my eye every day just to see how the bruise would progress.
That's really.
So I
nerdy.
do a lot of really nerdy research like that. Yeah.
That's super nerdy. We'll barely hear them.
People are entering the cabin.
Hey,
We're just talking a little bit about stuff. Yeah,
We're recording people.
we're recording interviews for the podcast because there's not a little bit of downtime. But no, that's awesome. I don't think that's nerdy. I think that's probably above and beyond what someone else in your profession would do.
I actually have a question.
Please.
Do you look at real like morbid photos on the internet? Like, let's say like a really person that really really got their neck slashed, which unfortunately I'm sure you can find on the internet.
Like facesofdeath.com or whatever.
Yeah, I did. My search history is very morbid.
She's on an FBI
I have
watch
not.
list.
Luckily, I
She's on
have
some
not
kind of
been.
list. Oh Lord, that's awesome. No, that's great. So this is let's fast forward 5-10 years. Where would you like to be doing?
Oh gosh, what a loaded question. I mean, I would like to be doing this more consistently at least.
Okay.
More than the one time that I've done it.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Right. Do you have like an official like business?
I do not. No.
You do? Okay.
No, I have just done Halloween makeup for my friends, and been paid out of pocket there, under the table type of deal. But
we won't tell the IRS.
Oh, thank you. They don't listen to this.
You never know. We say some shit. Maybe not the IRS, but the
listeners.
Oh, the only ones. Great.
Yeah, along with the NSA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely listening.
But yeah, I would like to do more projects like this. Absolutely.
That's good. Oh,
absolutely.
Awesome.
Maybe less ticks. That would be preferable.
There are lots of bugs and ticks, mosquitoes and ticks. We've talked about that a little bit. Where can we find your stuff?
My Instagram is at cherrybombrit, and I have a lot of my work on there.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What would be like your dream makeup kill scene?
Oh, I really like the slit neck, but something I really like to do, and I've done it on myself, are gouged out eyes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
It's really disgusting, but it's so much fun to do. Pretty much the grosser it is, the more fun it is to play with it, because it's like art, you know? Yeah. At least that's what I tell my parents.
So, Oh man, you said there was one wound we did that you called the ground beef.
Yes.
You didn't actually use ground beef.
No. It's called wound filler, and it looks like ground beef.
Sure.
It's chunky, it's dry, and it looks like slashed up
Guts,
essentially. Yeah.
Do you make your own fake blood?
I do not. No.
Could you?
I could. Yes. I just want for this project. I got a few. I mean, I already had probably 5 different fake bloods, but
what's different? Like, what makes them different? Different thickness?
Yeah,
or?
the consistency,
Oh,
the viscosity, yeah, the color of it. Some of it is thicker, some of it's dried blood.
Wow.
Some of it's like a fresh scratch. Yes.
Yeah, never even thought about any of this. That's so cool. So, well, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Next, we're going to talk with Ender. He is Enderhan. He's the son to Eric, who's our sound engineer. Ender plays Buddy, the son, the little boy, and he's a blast, having tons of fun, and he's going to tell you all about it right now.
What?
How old are you?
11. I'm going to be 12 in November 6th.
How did you get roped into this project?
Because sometimes I go skateboarding with Nick. Mostly my younger brother does.
Okay. And you're playing Buddy,
Yeah.
right? So Nick's needed a boy that's about 11 years old, and he asked you to do it, huh?
Yeah.
Were you happy when he asked you?
Yeah, I was.
You excited to do it?
Yeah.
And we're partway through. No spoilers, okay? But are you having fun so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited for the rest of what's coming up and all that?
Yeah, I don't think we're filming much more.
Okay, that's good. What's been like your favorite part so far, if you can think of something?
When we were playing baseball
Okay.
and stuff.
So tell me about Buddy. What kind of kid is he like?
He's like excited and like energetic and stuff.
Does he like his dad more than his mom?
Yes, a lot more.
Yeah. Is it funny when you get to like treat your mom kind of like crap in this movie?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. You don't do that in real life, right?
No.
No. Have you been acting very long? Have you got like a million other acting jobs or?
Well, I make my own movies
Oh,
at home with
tell
my
me
dad.
about that.
I made a movie called Horrorland. My brother named it, so it's kind of weird.
Horrorland's not bad though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, do you have any social media you'd like people to follow you on?
Subscribe to Crisps and Shillings on YouTube.
Crisps and Shillings on YouTube. Okay. What's that?
Sort the videos by newest first or something.
Okay, we can do that. Well, thanks
Or
for
least subscribed.
like and subscribe.
Least-
Smash that
yeah.
bell for the notifications.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Well,
And when you're searching for it, sort it by least subscribed because you'll find me.
okay, excellent. Thanks for being a part of SlashU.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this episode will come out as soon as I get it done.
Okay.
All right. Next, I was able to talk briefly with Nick's wife, Jody Bankhead, who's kind of the set mom and script supervisor over the course of the shoot. So we're going to get her impressions about what she experienced keeping everybody on track with their lines and cleaning up the cabin. So here's Jody.
You don't want it continuously happening.
Yeah.
Where the hell is Brian? Aren't we shooting a movie today?
Yeah, I think he was getting his equipment and getting ready to set up. Because the crew people all went. Satchel and L2, they all.
Oh, Satchel's down there too. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
I was like,
how
what's going on?
how did you get roped into this project, Jody?
I'm
Jody
married.
Bankhead.
I'm married to the director.
Oh, nepotism. I get it. You slept your way to the top. I
Oh
see
yeah,
how it
that's
is.
the way I roll.
That's how they do it in Hollywood. Oh, that's bad. But this weekend has been a lot of fun. Would you agree?
Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
leading question, but
I learned a lot.
yeah. What kind of things? What kind of things did you learn, and what kind of things were you helping with and doing this weekend?
You have to be very organized.
You do, don't you?
Yes, you
Yeah.
have to be very organized.
They stamped you as script supervisor.
Yes,
is that
that's
right?
what I was. I was script supervisor, so I made sure that everybody had their lines, and if they needed a line, and also to like the direction on there, like emotion or like to set up the scene to make sure that that's happening.
Just make sure we're following what was
Yep.
written. I see.
Except I missed a line.
Oh,
I had to redo it today, so I was.
Yeah. I don't think it's that big a deal. And you really shouldn't beat yourself up.
I got so into it.
Because we're not, none of us here are like, oh, I've done 14,000 of these.
Right.
So I know everything. We've all learned as we've gone. But can I ask you this? And
Yeah.
I asked your lovely husband this, and he semi-dodged me, he semi-answered me. But if we were to get a chance to do something like this again, are there some things that you've picked up from this weekend that you're like, I would do it this way next time because we didn't do it on Murder Cabin? You know, things, organization, other, you know, whatever.
I would take it and like I would look over the script
Mm-hmm.
and sit down with Nick,
Mm-hmm.
so him and I can get it organized better.
Yeah.
So now that I know, like when we sat down yesterday morning and kind of went through it all, I was able to wrap my head around it and understand it. So now that I know that, if we do it again, like him and I sit down, and if he wants me to do the same role, him and I sit down together and we get it organized and we plan it all out, and then also have a plan B if weather doesn't cooperate.
Oh, for sure.
So.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Definitely have a little bit more
I think
organization.
Right, utilizing all of the tools in the toolbox too.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't need to personally oversee every piece of setup. So
Right.
if he's over here shooting a scene and there's people who are not in it, then and not needed to help,
Right.
have those people be getting the next one ready.
I agree with you.
You know, rather than you
So-
get it ready when we're right about to use it.
Right.
Oh man, this could be ready 20, 30 minutes ago. Stuff like that. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
We got hands here. Let's.
Put him
All
to
right,
work.
we're going to be in the woods over here, and we're going to need you guys to get ready because here's the pages that we're going to be shooting next. So go set this up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Nope, it makes complete sense, and I 100%
That's one thing
agree.
I've taken away. I've been like, if we did this again, this is the way I would try to organize people. And
I would maybe break it up, like each scene, like, okay, like have the scene numbers on the actual script and be like, okay, break it up, and this is the scene one, like break up, instead of just having the script all together, like break it up here, here, and here, and then like at the top go, this is how every detail, how things need to be set up.
Yeah.
So then you can go set up for scene 2.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and so
then they know
everything's on there. Like you have a to-do
Yeah.
list. You have every prop, everything that's supposed to be in there.
Yeah, but we're at a disadvantage a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this is a lower budget. We don't have an art department. We don't have a prop department. We don't have a second unit. Some movies will have a second set of cameras, and they're off shooting one scene with people, while this other unit is shooting a different scene with different actors.
Yeah.
And you can get multiple scenes at the same time. We don't have that luxury here.
No.
And unfortunately,
We'd be roughing it.
well, and we also have an actor, not unfortunately, but Cyd is in virtually every single scene. There's very few parts of this movie that she's not in.
I know.
As the mom, so she's a pretty pivotal. So if you're going to shoot something that has her, you got to have her. So, other than script supervision and all that organization, how wild are you about how clean this place is?
It's not bad.
No?
It didn't bother me. This is like I said, it's better than what I was expecting.
Oh, really?
Like, because
gotta
like
be
they were
really bad.
setting me up that like, oh no, these cabins are like, they're filthy. There's not like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking that literally it's just, I thought this was like going to be so much smaller.
Oh.
I thought they were all going to be smaller little cabins and super dirty. And I mean, it's fine. It's fine for me. It didn't
Yeah.
bother me.
But you did a lot of tidying up yesterday.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I can't handle that. I can't handle the beer cans
Food
everywhere,
wrappers and
food
beer
wrappers,
cans and- yeah. And,
just random shit laying around. I can't
Right.
handle that.
no, I'm glad you did it. It's less we got to do today.
Yes.
So, you guys getting ready to go?
We need you in hair and makeup.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank
Jody.
you.
That's all I need from you. Appreciate it. This has been Jody Make. Everybody. All right, we're coming near the end here. Next, we're going to talk to Cyd. She plays the mother in this epic magnum opus that is Murder Cabin. So let's hear from Cyd. She's probably one of the few people who's got any acting experience, although we're all doing great. But Cyd's been in stuff, so let's hear from her. She's one of the pros. Here's Cyd. What's your Cyd? Is it Cydney? What's your full name?
Cydney.
It is Cydney.
Yes.
With a C, though.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
There's a restaurant called Sid's in Peoria, which is where I was born.
Okay.
And it's spelled like that.
Nice.
With the C. So I think my mom got it from
She just thought
that.
it was,
Yeah.
She thought it was unique. You weren't conceived there or anything?
No.
It holds a special place in my heart. So you have a background in this, kind of. This is like your thing, right?
Acting.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like
It's-
the one like professional person here that's done films.
I definitely wouldn't say I am
No?
the one professional person. No, we have some really, really awesome people
Yeah.
on this set.
Oh, it's been fun. Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I pursued it in college. I went to college for that, and then I moved to Chicago, got an agent, and yeah, I just do auditions as they come to me.
How did you get tied up with Nick and that gang? And
I knew somebody that they know.
Okay.
Or I know somebody.
Yeah.
But his name's Justin. He sent me the story that Nick shared and was like, hey,
Does this sound good to you?
yeah, like, would you be interested in this? And I was like, yeah, let's meet and chat. And
Yeah.
I like horror movies.
Okay.
So this is right up my alley.
Have you done any other horror movies, or what else do you?
Yeah, back in 2022, I did a movie called Haunt Season.
Okay.
And it was a feature, so it was much longer process than this.
Yeah.
But that was the first one I had ever done.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What'd you
So
do
that
for
kind
that?
of gave me the itch.
Yeah. What were you in that?
I was a character it's about an actual haunted house.
Okay.
Where shit goes down
A little more supernatural.
inside the haunted house.
That's fun.
Well, not supernatural. There's a killer.
Oh.
A human killer.
I see.
But it just takes place in a haunted house.
Oh. Okay. Is it like Scooby Doo, where they
No,
take off the mask? and do
no.
that?
No. It's like people walking through, and then like actually shit starts to happen.
All right.
Yeah, but I played one of the characters that works in the haunted house, and that has to deal with getting the folks
see.
out when shit starts to happen. And
Yeah. We covered a movie like that on SlashU, and it escapes me now. But it was one where, this group of kids went to like Horror Fest or something. So it was like a whole park, like when they do Fright Fest at Six Flags,
right?
And so it's all Halloween themed. But this was more of like a convention or some kind of park where there were rides and all this stuff. And this group of kids, and one of them was getting stalked by this killer. And it was the whole thing was like, how do you catch him when he's looks like all the other people dressed up?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wish I remembered the name of it, but we've watched like 130 movies. I don't remember all of them. So I will just probably insert it here. No. So tell us about the mom. You're playing mom, wife.
Yeah. So it's 1950s.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Absolutely not. My lips are sealed.
Okay.
So she is like a stereotypical nuclear family housewife.
Okay.
She's expected to keep her looks up, no matter where they're going, every single day. Her job is the house. Her job is the kids. She has no real freedom, and you can tell that gets to her a little bit, and events happen because she's pushed to the limit.
Yeah, I get it.
And she snaps.
I'm sure there's probably a lot of housewives back in the day that maybe felt similar.
It's what you said earlier, right? Like, it's hard, to talk about this stuff because this is an inspiration from real life.
Yeah, there is real life abuse in the world, and it's definitely portrayed in this movie.
And it was so common and so just accepted and
swept under the rug even.
Oh, I mean, expected. Like, it was fully expected of the wife
norm.
to do this.
Yeah.
And if a man popped off, boys will be boys.
Yeah, you gotta keep them in place, right?
Yeah.
why is your wife acting up, Pete?
Mm-hmm.
You better knock her down a peg.
Right.
Yeah.
She seems a little bold.
Right.
She's a little too talkative.
What's going on?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Who wears the pants in your family? And then the man would get all, his buddies would get all
right
making fun of him.
Or the classic trope of like Mad Men era where a woman has an idea, but then no one takes her seriously, and then the man has the same idea, and oh my god, it's the greatest thing
She's
ever.
a genius. Yeah. She has a smaller brain. We don't listen to her.
Yeah.
No. Are you having fun? We're partway through as we're talking right now. We're not done filming, but
yeah.
Is fun the right word?
Yes, okay. I think fun is the right word. It is work.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely work because this is a dark film. You know, that's not a spoiler for sure. Right. So sometimes these scenes are a little intense and you got to go spots where you don't normally like to go inside your brain, you know. But it's good to get it out. Like, we've had it on paper. We've been doing read-through upon read-through. Yeah. It's good to get it out.
Well, it's good. Well, thanks. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to plug or any social media you want to share or anything like that? It's up to you.
No, not really. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say about character, but okay. I think we covered just a good gist.
Yeah, this is just a little behind the scenes taste, so thanks for taking a minute.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. And finally, I talked to Brian Redman, who's director of photography, co-director with Nick on the movie. He's the guy behind the camera, the guy with all the angles. He's got his crew here. And so Brian gives us a little bit of a technical background on all this. Feel free to tune out if you're not as big of a nerd. He does have some good stuff to say. And this will be the last behind-the-scenes interview. Thanks for joining all of us here in this special episode of SlashU. So here's Brian, and we'll see you next time. Chat. Yeah, be quiet. Get out of here. We already interviewed you, buddy.
My name is Buddy.
I know.
You're right.
You did great. And shut the door. Wow, that was forceful.
I know. Well, it's funny because like the door's so heavy, so it's like no matter what, it seems like someone's angry.
So Brian Redman.
Are we recording now?
We are.
Oh shit! Sweet.
I can cut this however I want.
Fine. Yeah. Hell yeah.
How'd you get roped into this?
Nick had wrote this script. Well, Nick and I made an indie film in 2016 or 17. And like he was talking about, and the thing was like he just kept going on every night. He was my neighbor for a while, and then he's like going on and on about this script, and I finally was just like, let's fucking do it. He's like, well, no, we have to do this. I'm like, no, let's just do it. We're just gonna do it. And then we did it, and it was fine. I was like pretty green to like filming stuff like that because I worked at agencies and stuff like that, but filming like for things like that, and I have the gear really. I shot on an A7S2, which is a little DS, a little mirrorless camera, which is great for video. It was fun. Anyway, fast forward a bunch of years later, Nick kept writing scripts and things, and then I was like, well, I want to do another one. I have like all this gear now, and I'm actually pretty good at what I do now. I'm like,
you had a lot of other experience under your belt.
Tons. Well, then now I went from having a fucking like $1,500 camera, where now the camera gear that we're using on this shoot, I think we're like $50,000, $60,000.
They're expensive, high end.
Yeah, we're like $60,000 in camera, which again for a real movie budget is nothing. But like,
right.
We're shooting this all on like, we got nice red digital cinema cameras that we're using, and it's a major step up. So I'm like, well, I have all this gear now. Let's do something creative. I want to do something creative again.
Sure.
So, he had the script. He put in a bunch of things. I'm like, well, I think he submitted the screenplay to like film festivals. I'm like, well, let's do that one.
And the original is 3 stories.
Right. Yeah. Well, remember. I think it was his birthday. Or was it Jody's birthday?
During the lockdown.
Was it his birthday or Jody's birthday?
His birthday.
Yeah.
We all came over and we did a table read of the entire feature.
Right.
And but then yes, to do, I think it was smart to say we're just going to do one story.
Yeah.
And obviously much less expensive and much logistically easier.
Well, and the thing is like we're barely getting this one done.
Yeah.
So like in this amount of time, it takes. We'd have to like do this every year.
Yeah, or you would need like a 3-week long.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Day.
But the thing is like, and just for more context for anyone coming in blank, Nick wrote the Murder Cabin stories, three different stories, and then he was sitting on them for a while.
Yeah.
And then for his birthday one year during the lockdown, he's like, hey, I'd like to come over and like I assign roles, and we'll hold on, my wife's about to leave. Can you come out here?
Come on out here.
You got to pull it with gusto.
You can say goodbye.
There you go.
I love you.
All right, love you too.
Drive safe.
I will do my best.
You should also travel safe.
I will
Yeah.
do my best.
Yeah, I believe in you. So he wrote these stories, and for his birthday, he wanted to, like, let's all come over and we'll pick parts and we read them. And it's just made sense to start at the first story.
Yeah.
Because that's why my brain works. We could do like a Star Wars thing where we started at the end.
Yeah, or Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
do it all out of order.
Yeah, just went all out of order, yeah. But, so yeah, that was the big thing. So I wanted to do something more creative. And,
no, that's great. I'm happy you brought your talent and experience to the table. So,
well, and the big thing here too is, like, I think that's the way everything's looking so far, and the way we got really lucky with the people that wanted to be involved.
Yeah,
you know,
tell about them. Like, are these all people you know or you work with? How'd that?
Yeah,
have a fair amount of other ancillary characters here, working
right.
with camera and sound and everything.
So production. So Eric, is one. Yeah, Eric is he's sound. He's going to be the editor. He friend of Nick. So Nick brought him in.
He was on another episode of SlashU.
Yeah.
A movie, and his son, of course, is playing Buddy.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job with the boom. Like,
yeah, and he's running. And it's not even so much that he's just running booths. It's like he's like managing all the town because it's one of those things like in production. Like I think it's looked upon as like a low level job, and it really, to run sound, like be in charge of audio, is like super important. And like, he's doing a great job making sure you get the right tones, making sure like you're getting clean takes and everything.
Yep. There's a jet flying over.
Right.
He's going to hit it first.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're both going to. He's going to be the main editor, and then I'll probably do some stuff, do some special effects, like have to help out at some point to kind of like. For me, as an editor, I'm an editor professionally. That's what I do. But it's one of those things when you have a big project like this, it's like gets put together and have another person help out. Well, anyway, so he's gonna be editing. So it's great to like kind of go back and forth, like, oh, we can shoot for the edit because anyone can go out and just shoot stuff. You have the edit in mind. A lot of ways to figure out how to do this sort of thing. So that's kind of what it is. We'll have him to reference that stuff. We'll do.
I was talking to Joey yesterday about when we were in the middle of one of the scenes. It was just like, it's amazing when you watch a movie, you take it for granted. You're seeing this point of view, and then all of a sudden, two people across from each other talking, and you see it from the other point of view. Like, they had to stop and cut, move the cameras, again, the same dialogue. All that takes place without you knowing as the audience. And it's seamless final edit. And so we don't think about that as normal viewers. There was a lot that went into this. People were saying those lines probably 10 times or more. And in several different ways. So
well, that's like the whole concept of fourth wall, right? So like the whole thing is like, it's one of the, it's like a bass player in a band. Like he's there and he fucked up. You realize that he fucked up, but like, you don't notice him really until he fucked up. So that's like, I think the camera work is like that's your view for the viewer. So it's like you don't think about all the things that go into it. Like cutting back and forth and widening, tight angle, like how the big thing is like trying to do things in a way that makes you feel a certain way. When Cyd did a great job with some of the more dramatic scenes that she welled up, and like it's a matter of like, okay, I need to get her tight so you can feel this.
Yeah,
there's that like
that stuff occurs to you in the moment.
Yeah,
you might line up for a shot that you had storyboarded.
Yeah,
and then something about the light or something about the shadows that day or something about the way the actor's feeling is like, let's move over here.
Yeah,
and get it this way. I've for me anyway, I've watched that unfold here this weekend, going like, oh my god, like they didn't plan a lot of this stuff, obviously, and I suppose that's normal.
There's only so much you can do. Like the storyboard, you need to do all that stuff. You need to kind of plan out where you want to have your shots, but like that's why every single scene we're doing, I'm having everyone do a walkthrough because like you can plan all you want, but like it didn't account for there's a table here or there's like a wall here. You have to come through this door. Yeah. Like when you're in the actual practical. Now bigger budget films, like they can control their.
They can probably build the set the way they want it.
Yeah, they can build their sets. They can control this stuff.
Yeah.
But doing this sort of thing is like we're using what we have. And again, this I'm used to coming up. The place that we're at right now too. This probably feels like a real, like pretty legit operation to some people.
I'm sure.
Well, you've never been here. What do you think of the whole place we're at?
Oh, this is. I made the dad joke this morning because I'm the dad. I said this place is kind of like camping, but not as intense.
I get it. Yeah, the big So just for anyone,
It's rustic.
Oh, yikes! Ugh.
But it is rustic.
Yeah, well, and the thing is like, so the place that we're at right now, just to give a quick elevator description to listeners, is like, we do this murder cabin thing, so we decided we need a cabin to film in. Like, hey, there's a club that I'm a member of that has a bunch of cabins. Let's all go up and do this thing. And there's like different buildings, different cabins. There's a mess hall, like professional kitchen, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We brought my friend Ryan up, who Ryan just loves cooking. He's a manager of a music store.
Okay.
But I cook with him a lot. We smoke stuff together, and he's just like a very capable dude.
Yeah.
And like, he's one of those people that like, I'm like, hey, go figure this out.
Yeah.
And he's not the kind of person that like, how do I? And I was go figure that out. And he's like, okay, cool, I'll go figure it out. That kind of guy. So which is great. But he's
been like our craft services, more or less.
And that's the thing is, it's legit. Like, and we have like a legitimate like actual menu. We have like, he came up with a menu. Like, this is like legitimate craft services. Like, we have meals that were prepared. There's food ready, and like everyone, if they wanted to be fed, they could just walk down there.
These are more things though that we didn't really, you don't think about. You know,
'Cause,
that's not going to be in the movie, but it's very important in making the movie.
Oh
you gotta feed all these people.
Yeah, for sure, and that's a huge thing because like he's doing a great job, and like again, just kind of paying into like this must feel like Ender last night when Ryan brought all the food up. He's like, this food looks like it came from a restaurant. This is and he was like that's the nicest thing anyone can ever say about anyone. Especially if it comes from a kid.
From an 11-year-old.
From a kid, because if they
let's not get his head too big. That kid he's not a picky eater, so.
Which is great, but my point is like kids are so honest.
For sure.
And if something is awry, they'll be like, "This looks funny." They'll say it. So if they think it's good, it's real good.
No, it's
them.
fantastic.
But yeah, so it's been a good vibe. We have a good atmosphere. We have like this thing. We're doing a lot with a little, and I always say like our whole thing is we're just trying to put a round peg in a square hole.
Sometimes that makes some of the best movies.
Right.
Unfortunately, the rest of Brian's audio was kind of unusable for the remainder of this interview, but that's okay. There wasn't much left. We were wrapping up. I just want to get his plugs in. Brian on Instagram has his production company at Geared Science, Geared Science, Geared Science, all one word, and that he works on stuff for the Mama Tried motorcycle show, which is also on Instagram at Mama Tried Show, all one word, Mama Tried Show. For Mama Tried and Flat Out Friday motorcycle show. So be sure to check Brian's work out there. And that was the end. That was all of our interviews. It was a great weekend. We really hope you had fun listening to a little behind the scenes for the Murder Cabin movie shoot. And more to come if you follow at murder_cabin_movie. There'll be more updates on the progress of the film and when it could potentially be out and available for people to see or at film festivals or whatever. I don't know what Nick's got planned for it, but be sure to stay tuned to /U /U_podcast. And of course, you can always email us at /Upodcast@gmail.com or /U_podcast on Instagram, /U_podcast on Facebook as well. Thanks everybody. This show's a little bit late, but it was a holiday weekend, so get off my back. And until next time, class dismissed.
5, 4, 3